welcome back to Valkyria Revolution. Playing a little bit of catch up here because we did unlock new fragments while I was grinding off camera. So we're going to take care of both of those, and then we're going to advance the story a little bit with this
That is just one part of history.
weapon testing thing that they want us to do. So we got Bloom and we have Helena. So let's do Bloom first. Because Bloom's like the shy guy.
Captain, hello there.
So, this where you grew up?
Yep, my mother, she runs this tailor shop.
Bloom, is that a customer?
No, Mother, this is my commanding officer.
Oh, so you're the Captain Bloom's always talking about. Thank you for taking care of my precious boy.
My mother runs the store by herself, so I come by every now and then to check in.
Oh, please, I'm much more worried about you. Honestly, I don't know how a quiet boy like you could be of any use on the battlefield. You should just come home, Bloom. Isn't that right, Captain?
Mom, what are you saying? I can't quit. The shop's struggling because of the blockade. You can't get the materials you need. But if we win the war, things will go back to the way they used to be. I'm trying to help you out too. I have to do this.
But you shouldn't have to worry about such things.
You know, I only volunteered because Helena made me, but I'm glad she did. I've realized there's something I can do for my country, and you.
Bloom.
Besides, Helena's with me. I need to keep her safe. Oh, who am I kidding? She's way tougher than me. She can take care of herself.
I guess that's true. You do have Helena with you. Okay, Bloom. I support your decision. Take care of my son, Captain. Make sure he comes back to me.
I'll do my best.
Captain, can I continue to check in on my mother?
As long as it doesn't interfere with your duties.
Thank you.
Oh, that kid's gonna die. Sole successor. Interesting. What's up with Helena? I want to go back to the
There's
notebook.
much we can learn by revisiting the past.
Helena is next. Face of Cafe Anderson. Actually,
There's much we can learn by revisiting the
where's the
past.
Bloom one? His is the air. And then hers is Face of Cafe Anderson. Okay. Let's see it.
Captain, you must have good taste.
I was just passing by.
Welcome to Cafe Anderson. We've got a customer. Pops, Captain Amleth's here.
Nice to meet you. I'm Burkle, Helena's father. How's she, doing? Pulling her weight?
Yes, Private Anderson's performance has been admirable.
Huh. Glad to hear. I wasn't sure what to think when she suddenly said she wanted to volunteer for military duty. But it seems like you're working hard, Helena.
Of course I am. I'm your daughter after all.
That is true. I'm afraid the menu's not much these days, Captain, thanks to the blockade. But please come by whenever you'd like.
Thank you.
Don't worry, Pops. Your darling daughter will deal with the rooks in no time. And before you know it, the menu will be back to normal. Right, Captain?
That's our pride and joy.
Pops, I'm just getting started.
All that matters is that you come home safely. Besides, the customers are starting to miss having you around. Look after my daughter, Captain. I know it's war, but
I'll do my best.
she puts on a brave face, but truth is she needs others. She's always depended on Bloom ever since she was a child.
What are you talking about, Pops? I don't depend on Bloom. Bloom depends on me. I'm the one who takes care of him.
When you decided to volunteer, you volunteered Bloom as well so that you wouldn't feel alone. Your mom mentioned how upset you were that Bloom showed a higher Ragnite aptitude than you.
Why'd Mom have to tell you that? Did you have to say that in front of the captain, Pops? I can't believe you! Get out of here!
Fine, fine. Hope to see you again, Captain.
I'm so embarrassed. Captain, please don't tell Bloom about the Ragnite thing, okay?
Sure.
Or anyone else for that matter.
Of course. I don't discuss personal affairs with the squad.
Huh. Didn't think you'd be so reasonable, Captain. Always pegged you for the stubborn and flexible type. Well, now that we share a secret, you can trust me to watch your back even more. We'll wreck the Rucks in no time.
Can't wait.
Just leave it to me. I'll show 'em who's boss.
That's cool. Hospitable host. Alright. You know what? Having both of those back to back was really, really good. Because they both depend on each other and their stories kind of funnel into each other. I wanna
You're
check the
quite
book.
studious. How splendid.
Okay, chapter. I should use the Galder. I thought it said we had new. Okay, the new things must have been the notebook. So we can head back to the main story.
This is a true story.
So we got our upgraded passives. And now I guess we're just gonna do story stuff. Maybe I'll upgrade the weapons.
Yo, what do you want?
Battle Paladin. Upgrade.
Pretty good, yeah?
Earth plus 2. Here's missile. Magic attack.
How about this?
Alright, I can't believe everyone has one. Not a Okay.
See ya.
Let's get on with the story. What's next? Let's test the weapons.
What's the matter?
Syria under attack again. Complete Basil's request.
Op details are as follows.
Test your newly equipped anti-Valkyria weaponry. Light tank.
That is all. Dismissed.
Now we're ready. We are ready. So the red-haired guy's gonna be here. One of the traitors. That's interesting. He's Oh, we're just into it. Basil. That's his name. Made a deal with the military to obtain this. Is it going to be sabotage or something?
Let's do this! Let's end this!
I'm right beside you.
It's damaged! This'll do it.
Huh? Let me see. Pretty good, yeah? Hell yeah!
Let's end this!
Is this a ploy to,
Good to go? It's damaged! This'll do it. What are you looking at? Damage! Burn them all!
All right! How about this?
Very good.
wild.
Leave it to me. I'm with you.
I got you. Now this.
What are you looking at? Let's end this!
Rock by. Now what do we use?
Don't do it! It's damage! Take this! Day is ours! On a search. This'll do it! Out of my way! I'll give it my all. Watch this!
Take this!
Mana Surge.
I'll finish you! Mission complete.
Not bad. The whole team got
I
expelled.
am one with the sword.
Bloom's 3 away. Interesting. So what does that mean?
How was it?
The sensitivity is excellent, and its resonance with the specimen is proving to be equally perfect.
But it's far from the maximized output we predicted.
Bingo. If an alchemist could draw out all that juice, I bet it'd blow the crap out of a light tank in just one hit.
Is something diverting its primary power source?
Or are the current synchronization levels insufficient?
Oh, hey. Thanks for the help, Am. We're gonna crank up the heat on this monotech, so come by later to check it out.
Interesting. Fragment Godot Wilford Royal Guard added to notebook.
There's much we can learn by revisiting the past.
Alright, let's see what Godot's up to.
You should have seen the silly, funny look on her face.
That Sarah sounds like quite the character.
Oh dear, there I go again, chatting only about myself. 'Tis your turn now, Miranda.
Whatever would I talk about, milady?
How about Godot? You two must have some amusing anecdotes to share.
Easier said than shared, Your Highness. My brother doesn't have an amusing bone in his body. Even now, he's swatting down marriage proposals like flies. He says he doesn't want to make a promise he can't keep.
Perhaps he is saving his vows until the battle is over. Worry not. Godot is an honest and reliable gentleman. After the war, I am certain he will meet a wonderful woman. There is no need to rush.
I can only hope it turns out that way.
Is something else the matter? On top of his good nature and looks, he's arguably the greatest swordsman in the entire kingdom. 'Tis no surprise that eligible ladies would flock to him.
As you say, even I can tell that my brother is an attractive slice of real estate.
Real estate?
Before the war, our parents were always setting him up with potential matches. Once he met the would-be brides, however...
So tell me, what are some of your hobbies?
Well, I've recently become very interested in soil.
Soil?
That's right. I love everything about Jutland. I plan to put together a book about Jutland's local history. Whenever I find the time, I visit a new town. I'm particularly interested in how different soil nourishes different crops across Jutland.
Well, that's certainly a very interesting goal.
Ah, yes. Truly you appreciate Jutland's beauty as I do. Our country's prospered greatly by serving as a rural hub of sorts for the surrounding nations. We're dependent on Ragnite imports, but thanks to our agricultural trade, we've kept up with new technology. It's the combination of our agronomic accomplishments and the budding Ragnite industry that makes Jutland so unique.
I see.
Of course, this makes us a prime target for invasion, conquest. But that lingering threats only made us work harder to be self-sufficient, independent, and prosperous. Our predecessors shed blood, sweat, and tears to build the beauteous Jutland we know today.
Yes.
That's why we're able to keep the country strong, even with an embargo in place. All thanks to the hard work of our ancestors. I mean, one only need visit the orchards by the Azure Sea to see the genius of their farming techniques. Allow me to explain.
Dirt. Who talks about dirt? Instead of matchmaking, he'd rant about Jutland's soil non-stop for 3 hours straight. That clod. No bride-to-be wants to hear that kind of dirty talk. He could have chatted about anything else. Anything at all. My, what a lovely dress. Or, oh, such a fetching ribbon. See, is that so hard? It's no wonder my brother can't find a partner.
That does indeed sound like Godot. He must truly love Jutland. Hearing that makes me so happy, as a princess.
My brother's, patriotism is all well and good, milady. And I'm glad to hear someone appreciates his, quirks. But at this rate, he'll be a bachelor his entire life.
What are you two talking about?
I'm expressing my concerns for the future of House Villefort.
Huh?
How envious I am that you two care so much about each other.
What?
Interesting. That man would talk about soil.
You're quite studious. How splendid.
Anything here? We got a little more. So let's head back in. What happened afterwards?
Then allow me to continue.
If I recall, both Jutland and Ruse held national funerals around the same time, after the Battle of Avaloon. More accurately, they were memorial services, but Ophelia spoke of them as funerals to mourn those who fell in battle.
Historically, the fact that both sides claimed it was their victory was given much attention.
What do you mean we beat them? But the general got away. Interesting.
Claudius declared that Balthus, who lost his life at the war's onset, had died honorably at the Battle of Avaloon.
So he did manipulate the information. I thought it was odd when you said that Balthus died at the beginning of the war. Public records indicate that he was killed in action during the battle at Avaloon.
The Emperor capitalized on his death and claimed that Balthus greatly contributed in establishing the current Ruse.
Comrades, weep not for Balthus Greppenberg. Be proud. When the Jutes invaded our colony, like a pack of rabid dogs, it was the Grand General who minimized our losses. We may have lost Avaloon, but the damage dealt to those slavering curs was thanks to our dearly departed Balthus. In the face of invasion, we call this a victory.
His aim was to incite the people's hatred toward Jutland. Moreover, he commended Balthus's efforts against the enemy. By emphasizing that, he described Jutland's attack on Avaloon as an invasion.
So it was during this time that the Ruse's side of the argument started using the word invasion.
It's the same as how Jutland highlighted liberation. Speaking of, The national funeral was held at Ophelia's suggestion. The fact they obtained victory in the past 3 operations. Her thoughts for the soldiers who gave their lives for the cause. She conveyed all in her requiem. Freed the traitor continued his column, directing the people's anger to the Empire, especially with the Valkyria. He wrote that its appearance signified the Empire felt threatened, and it increased the morale of the country.
I now understand that the Battle of Avaloon held great meaning to both Jutland and the Empire. But from your account, Professor, there's something that didn't appear in any of the history books. The pendant that the Valkyria had. Why did it upset Amleth? And why were the traitors so surprised to hear of it?
Is the Valkyria the Maria character from before? I wonder. No, she's more Brunhilde.
It seems there are references to Valkyria throughout Europa's history.
How do you mean?
Records suggest that behind every king, lord, and noble house that's left their mark, there's been a Valkyria. Countless leaders have tried to unite Europa through force. All of them blessed by a Valkyria.
Blessed?
That's how some books describe it. Others use the word contract. Honestly, the legends are rather vague. Some say they eat human flesh. Others say you offer your life to them.
No way! We're the ones who are gonna take the Emperor's life.
Well, they're called legends for a reason. I need to do more research. Hopefully I'll find something that explains why the Valkyria had Miss Maria's pendant.
Yo, Am.
Am?
Just tell me how to kill it.
In the past, Amleth the traitor tried to assassinate Claudius for the sake of the pendant's owner. For the sake of rescuing their teacher, Maria Schmeichel, he came close enough to swing his blade upon the Emperor.
Interesting.
Claudius.
Death itself. A much more fitting epithet for you, Valkyria.
This is a Valkyria?
The attempted assassination of the Emperor. That incident cemented a single thought among the traitors. To achieve their goal, they must overcome a powerful enemy of Valkyria. Ever since they swore to save Maria and avenge their family at the orphanage, each and every one of the traitors dedicated themselves in their respective fields. Amleth as a soldier, Solomon as a politician. Freit, at the time, still worked at a newspaper company. Basil created his foothold in the business world. Violet worked in espionage and began touring foreign countries as a secret agent. All of their actions were for the day they would have their revenge. All the things they learned and experienced would someday help realize their dreams. That's what they believed. Before long, the Valkyria appeared with the Imperial army and was said to be the country's symbol of progress. Afterward, Jutland was blocked economically by the 4 major powers of the world, initiated by the Ruzi Empire.
The country gradually went bankrupt. Food was plentiful thanks to fertile lands, but Jutland depended on imports for fuel and resources. Once fuel became scarce, it began to affect agriculture. The government used rations to stabilize the life of the people, but even that had its limitations. The situation steadily grew worse each passing day. Rural areas were hit first in an outcry of hunger and poverty.
Around the same time, arguments pressing for war with the Empire grew due to the influence of the traitors. The anti-Valkyria squad was formed as part of that.
Amleth, who had a high compatibility with Ragnite, was selected as a member and was appointed its commander.
Years after the failed assassination, the traitors would meet on occasion to discuss their plans for revenge. When they assumed the battle with the Valkyria, it was evident it would be difficult with only 5 people.
That's the reason for the war? Just for revenge? The anti-Valkyria squad was created for that purpose?
They were conflicted about it as well.
I'm sure you realize it, everyone. No matter which of our fields we look from, this country is at its limits.
Not a day goes by the paper doesn't interview someone about how harsh it is. We don't even report on the half of it.
Money isn't circulating like it used to either.
Intelligence is analyzing what brought this situation about, but it seems the 4 major powers are involved somehow. They haven't determined a main objective yet, or why it happened, though.
More and more people are applying to join the army. It's one thing guaranteed to provide a regular meal.
So we have the manpower to fight.
I wouldn't call them battle-ready, though.
We must capitalize on this situation. I've been saying it all this time. Bring the country into this, start a war. There are no other means to take our revenge.
Putting aside how absurd that idea is, I don't think there's any way to morally justify starting a war.
You've been turning it down with that, but don't you feel anything about this country's wretched state? This economic blockade is unjust. If Jutland itself doesn't raise its voice, nothing will change.
I'm with Saul on this.
You really want to do this?
What other option do we have?
Well, we can work together like before.
Only reason that almost worked was because the Emperor actually left the capital. But he hasn't since. So what do you suggest? We just keep waiting and hoping? I'm done waiting. It's time to take our revenge. And free Jutland from economic oppression while we do.
Indeed. This, too, is for the country.
So you have no problem with sending countless innocents to their deaths? Wars cost lives. A lot of them.
The Emperor kidnapped our teacher and took the lives of our friends.
And you think that warrants the kind of damage war will do?
Loss of life is all the same. Whether it's our friends back at the orphanage or our countrymen in this war.
It isn't only us, Fried. The Emperor has invaded other countries and made them into colonies. How much blood do you think has been spilled? By slaying that tyrant, lives can be saved.
I don't know what's the best choice anymore.
Do you intend to continue waiting for the Emperor to come out? Do you intend to continue living with revenge in your heart? That's the same as being dead.
Part of us already died in that fire.
War sounds good to me, but so does the old wait and see.
Jeez. You're so neutral, Baz.
Fried, Violet, I'll say it once more. This is also for the country. Its recovery and our goals follow the same path.
Well, that may be true, but...
Violet, you're kind. However, if you've chosen to walk the path of vengeance, I'd like you to cast aside that emotion.
I can still hear their screams. Miss Maria, our friends.
Did you guys forget already?
What?
The coin, huh? I forgot that we had that.
Things were simpler back at the orphanage, weren't they? Any tough choice came down to the flip of a coin. Come on, has Lady Luck ever let us down?
I don't think so.
That's 'cause fortune favors the bold. Start a war, or wait and see.
Count me in.
Same here.
Me too.
Basil, flip it.
Heads, it's wartime. Tails, we wait.
Agreed.
All right.
Here goes nothing. Heads.
Huh. A coin flip.
Wait, Professor, you're saying they flipped a coin to decide whether or not they should start a war? That's terrible no matter how you look at it. It's no wonder they were convicted. It's already bad enough they did it for revenge.
Please, don't misunderstand them. It gets hidden behind the intensity of the word revenge. But it is true they looked at Jutland's poverty and believed they must take a stand.
Yes, Jutland's state then can't compare to the prosperity it sees now. But this news is bewildering regardless. It's so hard to comprehend. How do I process all this? Tell me, Professor. What did they do afterward? How did they confront the Valkyria?
Oh wow, failed assassination was added to the history.
You're quite studious. How splendid.
Well, we get to see more about that next time. But for now, a lot of cutscenes. But yeah. Thanks for joining me for more Valkyria Revolution. Next time, I suppose we'll jump into the second half of Chapter 3. But yeah, that was really fascinating. A lot of information is dumped on us before we head into the second half. And maybe try to fight the Valkyria again? I don't know. But until next time, catch you later.